Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
Welcome to theboxingvoice.com. Our show will provide in-depth international coverage of the sport of boxing. You'll receive your daily boxing news and headlines, as well as pre-fight interviews on upcoming fights, along with a detailed review of every fight, the aftermath, and its results. Our audience is second to none, with callers from all over the world. Tune in once and become addicted. The difference between us and most is our continued efforts to prioritize the boxing fans, putting them first, giving them the platforms to express their angers and their celebrations when they pick the winner correctly or incorrectly. Call in and voice your opinion. Make sure you follow us on YouTube and Blog Talk Radio to receive one email whenever a show is scheduled, because we do spontaneous shows you wouldn't want to miss. Now your host, Nestor Gibbs.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Hashtag TBV podcast. We're back. I know. It's been a while. For those that do not follow us on Patreon, I mean, you've been absolutely lost. And this is why it is extremely important you try to follow us on all forms of social media. I know most of our listeners are a little older and you may not have it, man. Just get it, even if it's just to receive that bat signal from TBV. We had a meltdown with one of the major components in the studio, and Thursday's show was not able to get off the ground. But we were able to do a behind-the-scenes overtime episode explaining it to all our most loyal listeners. And you guys knew I also kept you updated as I went to the Geek Squad in the Apple Store to try and revive the machine. But here we are with a new outlook on 2018, a new machine, a fresh show, and a lot of headlines. I mean, big news. If you haven't, heard from us and you are having a boxing, kind of withdrawal, you're in for a surprise. Anthony Joshua, Joseph Parker, signed, sealed, official dates, venues, tickets soon to be on sale. Press conference already announced. Canelo Alvarez, Gennady Golovkin rematch. Also, extremely close to done. Can't yet say official, but extremely close to done. And then we have Deontay Wilder and Luis Ortiz. Also signed, sealed, delivered. Tickets will be on sale soon. No press conference as of yet, but they definitely put out a ticket announcement. So that's it. This one is on. I got calls from undercard fighters already letting me know that they're going to be on the undercard as well. So we have our correspondents on the beat for that. And then another, not yet official, but agreed to all the terms, damn near official, Jeff, the new guy in the welterweight division, Horn, has agreed to all terms to fight Terence Bud Crawford. And then rounding up a 5-topic show, making it a heavyweight heavy show, Dillian Whyte, managing to keep his name amongst other big-named heavyweights while both Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder announced their fight. Dillian Whyte announces his as well with a viable opponent in Lucas Brown. If you haven't seen him, take Ness's word for it. He's a decent opponent. He was able to defeat Chagayev, a guy that we didn't even think he would beat. So right then and there, you got to give Lucas some credit. There's a bunch of other headlines that we're going to get to. But before we do, we got to head on out to the Golden State and introduce the co-host, the Hipster Hunter.
Do not have
the Hipster Hunter.
Do not have.
Wow, he's just gonna drop the ball like he didn't know on Border Wars show earlier today that I didn't have his intro.
That's my bad.
I mean, you're not gonna really play it now after all this. You're gonna introduce yourself after all these balls you've dropped.
I'm definitely gonna play it. What are you talking about?
This guy's so conceited.
100% conceded. You know this.
Gennady Golovkin production.
This is a beautiful performance against a very tough guy, Michael Johnson. How do you feel about it?
Fuck that. Conor McGregor.
Boxingvoice.com. You know me, Larry. From a wicked entrance, from a flip over the rope into a knockout. Now, when the main thing is, I just help the guy. I wish.
Boxingvoice.com. Yes, the hipsters here. Haters beware, including you, Nestor Gibbs, the lead hater. You know, the hater protector. You know, protector captain over here. We have tons of fights to get to. Obviously, that have been announced, pseudo-announced. I'm not even going to get into like any specifics or any of these topics. Let's just delve from the top, go into it. Plus, we have Amir Khan, you know, having a deal with Eddie Hearn. Tons of other news to get into. It's a jam-packed show. It's going to be a long show. So strap in. It's going to be a good one.
All righty then. Oh, let's introduce Enrique. No, he's not here. What about Doomsday? Negatory. Yo, I don't have any sound bites, ladies and gentlemen. New computer. Well, not a new computer. They were actually able to. Thank you, Matt. They were actually able to revive. What are we gonna call this one? We're gonna have to call her something. Let's call her Clarissa, since she's the hottest female boxer, right now. So yeah, man, they revived Clarissa, so we're here. But the thing is, she's completely wiped. No nada on it. So slowly but surely, all my sound bites. I've already kind of airdropped some, but you know, it's just gonna take. Those were, I mean, what, 5-6 years worth of bites, bro. It's not gonna be easy. Speaking of not being easy, Matthew, I don't know what the AP, our associate producer, sent us exactly. I'm sure you can give me the details, but it was Anthony Joshua on a couch next to Tom Hanks, laughing, chummying it up. I mean, there was a lot of touching as well. Joshua is very comfortable. These guys, I don't know. It just gave me the impression that they had been in some sort of interactions before this sit down on couch on camera. He spoke of, obviously, the Joseph Parker fight, and the host of the show kind of led Anthony Joshua down a road where he was forced to admit that the Joseph Parker is an easy fight and one that no one believes he will lose, and that the Deontay Wilder is his, and I'm using his words and air quotes, his legacy fight. And if Wilder beats him, he will be making history. So after all is said and done, it wasn't just posturing. There was a plan. Wilder was never in the plan to go first. They had this blueprint to go after Joseph Parker. And it's not about what's the better fight or not. I think this is the better plan anyway. Having all the belts, making it really mean something. I'm loving it. I'm happy the fight is signed. But like I posted on Instagram, finally, like I felt like this kind of drug out a little bit.
Agreed. But again, when you're the ace side and when you're the ace side of this magnitude, usually negotiations do drag on for a bit. Usually the fights don't get announced, 8 weeks out from the fight, maybe 6 weeks out from the fight. That Mayweather was infamous for that, where some of his fights were not announced, till 5 or 6 weeks out from the fight. And when you're that sort of star, you can get away with it, while some guys can't, obviously. So I'm not surprised by it. Was I frustrated by it as just a media member? Yeah, because every day we're hearing some headline about this fight and the negotiations of this fight. And we knew there was an announcement coming sooner or later, and we knew it was going to be sometime in March. We knew basically what was going to happen with this fight, and it all was exactly how we called it. It just took weeks and weeks for that to happen. But again, when we're talking about big fights, usually that does happen. While Joshua may not think, and you were talking about the Graham Norton show on BBC, just for anyone that wanted some clarification on what show you were talking about, I think Joshua does understand that he is a style nightmare for Parker, but Parker still represents a big fight. Definitely not as big as Wilder, but still a big fight. This is gonna be.
But this guy Graham, he even dismissed him. He was like, "You're gonna flatten that guy, this guy from New Zealand." Like that's how he's known. He's like this guy from New Zealand.
Of course. Well,
and when they spoke of Wilder, it was immediate body language and facial expressions of clear threat. It was like, so they say this man is who you have to face next. And then, you know, Josh was like, yeah, Deontay Wilder, he has a big mouth. And boom, they put a picture of Wilder, obviously, with his mouth wide open. And the guy, Graham, goes, wow, I see why you had to face him last. You know what I mean? So I just think that they're setting it up perfectly. And Joshua said it. It's going to be huge. They're setting it up perfectly. I know, you know, I'm just going to ask you.
Well, the funny part is, Ness, well, everything they said is not wrong. It's not incorrect.
No, it's not.
It's completely true.
But I am going to ask you this. The way that you just said, all right, like, oh, we knew everything that was going to happen, and it happened the way that they said it would happen, or the way that we assumed, right? Down to the date. Now, my question is, do we see history repeat itself, and are we doing a bunch of shows on now after the outcome of all these heavyweight fights, Wilder and Anthony Joshua, teams in the media, discussions of the same thing like David Higgins with you know, the percentages, like, oh no, Team Wilder says they're not taking less than 45%. And, you know, are we still going to see, knowing the inevitable outcome, do we still go down those roads and report on all those headlines? Are we going to see that, or is this one going to be really quick because they both understand how big it is now?
Talking about Joshua and Parker specifically, or after Wilder and Joshua's respective fights for that one? Which one are you talking about?
I'm talking for Wilder and Joshua, specifically after their respected fights coming in March.
It's going to be exactly the same, but obviously elevated to a different status because it's a bigger fight with a bigger magnitude, with a bigger audience. So it would be the same sort of
back and forth headlines, you think, they got to be realistic.
You don't think Lou DiBella and Eddie Hearn are going to go back and forth in the media for that one?
I mean, I don't know. I think Lou DiBella's kind of, you know, for lack of a better word, dead, in the sense that Eddie Hearn killed him with his last quote. Like, does Lou even promote Wilder? You know, and you know, when you think of,
but you don't need that though, because
no, you do. No, you do, because when you think of Eddie Hearn, it's an event when someone signs to Hearn. Dillian White signed, it was an event, press conference, everything. You know, Khan, same thing. Everyone, it's Danny Jacobs, same thing. Lou signs guys every day. No one knows.
Well, when
not the same
fighters get signed with Al Heyman, that's big news, right? We can both agree on that. And
not necessarily, because, you know,
big name fighters signed with Heyman. Yes, it is big news. When Jesse Vargas,
listen, let me tell you, not everybody. See, Jesse Vargas is already a name. That's why it was big news to you. But
my exact words were when big names signed to Al Heyman. That is big.
Right, but everyone that's signed. But my point is, everyone that signs to Eddie Hearn, it is an event. He holds a press conference. Something always happens. You know, you don't think so?
Yes, for the big names, of course. But that's the same for, I would say, everyone.
I think that he treats Eggington. I think that he treats Eggington the same that he treats anyone else.
I highly disagree with that. I think every promoter treats their stars differently. He may just be a great promoter for the undercard guys and the guys like Sam Eggington as well. Maybe some promoters are not great at that. But very quickly, let's be honest here. Lou DiBella is, in a sense, a mouthpiece for Al Heyman and PBC in a way. He is the voice of PBC in terms of being a spokesperson. Even though he may not like saying that, and the media may skirt around that, that's sort of the truth.
I don't know, man. There is no that's where PBC or its critics have always said that they were failing at, that there was no face.
And I don't think that's a critique. I think having Lou DiBella as the face of all your fights,
but I don't think he is.
And he's the face of all of their New York fights. We have to admit that, right? Everything in the East Coast fights area. is.
I would agree that it is a regional thing. The way that, obviously Mayweather gets Vegas and now he has the Danny fight,
Exact point. I think Al Heyman does it that way, and that's not necessarily wrong. You can be very efficient doing that.
Well,
just because they have a singular voice like a Dana White or Eddie Hearn doesn't mean you are doing a necessarily bad job.
But understand this, right? For those that critique them, they're not looking at it from those shoes, right? Because if you're out, you're saying to yourself, why have Jessen Oscar, who's dominant in Los Angeles, and bring him to LA? Yes, he's still a recognizable star, but he doesn't have those grassroots relationships with that tri-state community the way that a Lou does. And the same thing, don't bring Lou to LA to do a fight when you got TGB or you have Mayweather who's in the desert right there. So I think that they're doing it right. They're starting to get it. Like Mikey's finally in Texas, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And Earl, when I was speaking to him in his camp this week, he feels confident now that, Devin is also in El Paso, which is really close to Las Cruces down there. But, it's Texas. And now we got 2 PBC fights in Texas. Earl is confident in the summer he'll be having his PBC fight in Texas.
And Richard Schaefer. Richard Schaefer can go to a lot of places and promote. And he's now under the PBC umbrella. He's obviously promoting Mikey Garcia's fight in Texas. We're going to see players in that. Obviously, we went down a rabbit hole. But in terms of the promotion for Joshua Wilder, it will be in the media like every other mega fight in boxing. Everything's going to be in the media. All the negotiations, all the back and forth. And that's how it kind of should be, in a sense. That's how you build up a fight.
I don't know, because segueing into our next topic, these negotiations for the Canelo and Triple G, not only are there few things to discuss, everything seems to be reporting as running smoothly and on target. There were thoughts between you and I and other fans that thought, hey, maybe they push it to September and Canelo gets an easy, belt, maybe a Billy Joe or something before. I know that no longer looks easy after Billy Joe's performance, but remember, that's the way that we thought. We didn't think
3 months ago, we thought differently. 3 months ago, we thought differently. And I think Canelo and Triple G in the rematch for May, I think it's going to happen. But I think Oscar coming in late in all this and saying, oh, all these reports are false. It's not true. We're not close. I don't understand that. When I think everyone in the boxing world knows it's happening in May. Everyone knows. Like that's the rumor we hear behind the scenes all the time is that fight in May. All the sponsors are getting ready. All the advertisers are getting ready for it. Like there is a reason that the behind the scenes industry is getting ready for that fight, Cinco de Mayo, on Saturday for May. That's 100% going to happen. If David Lemieux had beat Billy Joe Saunders, we may be talking about something different. If Daniel Jacobs wasn't the beast that he was, we may be talking something different. If Jamal Charlo was not what he was, we may be talking something different. But unfortunately, Canelo Triple G is really the only option that those two gentlemen have at this point.
And you know what? I'm pretty sure his advisors, Canelo's advisors, told him that this is the better option. I think that you discussed it, and I really hate to bring it up on our show, but I believe you discussed it on the TBV Wake and Bake episode.
Oh, shout out to Wake and Bake, patreon.com/The Boxing Voice, Patreon only show. Check it out.
And what I'm speaking of is the perception of Triple G and how he's just not quite looked at as a monster, and how many people that picked him to win are probably now picking him to lose in this rematch. So I think that for Canelo, it is the right thing to do to turn around and do this immediately. And
right, like Triple G's ready for the taking in a way.
Yes, yes. Be the first man. Don't allow Billy Joe to steal your thunder, because there's still Mexican fans that believe Triple G beat Canelo, And there's still Mexican fans that believe Canelo was afraid of Triple G. He needs to beat him before anyone else does. And this is the right move. I do agree with you that I don't understand why Oscar is going about it in the manner that he is, because I did see the tweets. They were blasted all over Instagram. And
because instead he could have said this, like, we are very close to getting the fight done. A few more things, like a few more I's to dot, a few more T's to cross. We're almost there. Best fight in boxing 2018. He could have done that, but he doesn't.
I think it's a thing of ego. It's like, yo, you stole my thunder. We wanted to announce this, and now you guys are stealing this. And, you know, we wanted to make it a big deal. We wanted to promote. Essentially, we wanted to promote, and you're not letting us.
But in my opinion,
all publicity is good publicity.
Well, let's be honest here. I think when a Lance Pugmire has info like this, that's leaked purposely. Like, somebody high up in Golden Boy is telling him that info on purpose. Like, and I don't think that's a bad thing. Like, I think it's very strategic to leak information to the media at right moments, at the right time in the news cycle. I thought that's what this was. Then Oscar coming out and saying, no. That has me perplexed in a way. I don't know what Golden Boy's position
is. Oscar just stirring the pot more to keep the headline alive longer?
I think Oscar has turned to a point where he kind of likes being a contrarian. Like, he kind of likes going against the grain for whatever reason. Like, he likes poking buttons of the fans and the media. I think Oscar likes doing that in some way. Maybe that's what this is. Maybe it is a pride thing. Maybe it is an ego thing, like you said about him wanting to promote it himself in a sense, and have the formal announcement and all that. Again, I don't know where Oscar's head is at, and I think it's very hard to always guess where his head is at.
Well, the one we've all been waiting for, the one I don't even have a proper soundbite to use for. Luis Ortiz will be giving fight fans the test that we have been asking Deontay Wilder to face for quite some time.
I got the soundbite.
It is all signed, sealed, and delivered.
Had your kids, had your wife, and had your...
You know, I guess I have to be the negative Nancy and say, do we actually get to see this one, Matt?
Bomb Squad!
I found it.
Of course you found that one, right? That one didn't get lost. What do you mean by do we get to see it?
Does it happen?
Like,
does March 3rd come and do these men get in the fucking ring? Or are we going to go down this road again where we're feeling like Wilder's in the biggest fight of his career and all of a sudden some more bullshit happens?
I'm going to say it does happen. Again, the fight does happen March 3rd. Luis Ortiz and Deontay Wilder do not have a good track record at this point. We all know my opinion on Luis Ortiz and just drug testing and the WBC's ruling on the matter. But this fight's going to happen. And Luis Ortiz, regardless of the PD use or banned substance use, if you want to be, argue semantically, he is still top 5 heavyweight in the world. He is. Skill-wise, talent-wise, he is. So in my opinion, just like the AJ Parker fight, we have 2 top 5 heavyweights in the world fighting each other right now. I love it. I think it's going to be exciting. If I can put aside all the PED stuff, I can sit back and enjoy the fight, hopefully. And I do think it does happen. I think Luis Ortiz and his team will figure out whatever they need to do to correct their mistakes from their previous 2 occasions.
What sort of outcome are you expecting in this one? Like, is this still, when it's all said and done, March 3rd, or actually March 4th, we're here Sunday evening, it's Crow Day. Do the public give either man credit? Because Wilder's been called a bum so much. Will Luis Ortiz get credit if he knocks him out?
Okay. What we have coined as the AJ protectors, the people that are the quote unquote dick riders for AJ, they will of course figure out ways to pick apart this fight. They already have. They have their narrative. AJ's fighting for another belt. Wilder's fighting a drug cheat. Like that's their narrative already.
You're listening
to dismiss this fight is that, oh, Luis Ortiz is a drug cheat. Wilder's fighting him while AJ's fighting another world champion. Like that's already the narrative. So I don't think they're ever going to give him credit until he beats a Tyson Fury or an AJ. Let's be real.
You're saying Lewis won't get credit either?
No, I think Luis Ortiz will get credit, but
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying Wilder's been called a bum for so long. Does Luis Ortiz get credit if he wins?
I don't know, because even if you give him credit for beating Wilder, do you give him credit because of the PED use? And I don't know. Like for some fans, it may be a no-win situation here for this fight. That may be it. For the UK fans saying that Luis Ortiz is a drug cheat, how dare Wilder fight him? Well, if that drug cheat beats Wilder, you can't say, oh, he beat the bum that I keep calling the bum, and he's a drug cheat. You're in a lose-lose situation there. So I don't know where most fans are going to lie with this fight. This is a very interesting fight in terms of that narrative, where the fans are going to lie on Sunday night for Crow Day. I have no idea.
I know that in the build-up, there's going to be a lot of people on both sides of the track dismissing both guys. And then there's going to be a lot of silence after, a huge demographic won't show up. Kind of like the Rigo-Loma fight. Even though I will say I picked Rigo and I showed up. But I think I'm going to stop picking with the heart, even though it's so hard for me. It is.
So you picking Luis Ortiz?
Am I picking Luis? I don't know. I've never gotten a chance to be in Luis Ortiz's camp. And look at that. This is now year 2 with Earl.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel I learned way more than what I learned the last time. Being able to watch him spar 4 guys was no joke. Especially having this now boxing brain, being in the ring, talking to coaches, so many world-class elite club level coaches from a fighter's perspective, asking those type of questions and then just seeing what he's doing, watching how he's working. Impressive. So you never know. Luis Ortiz could impress me. I mean, a huge southpaw. I remember being in Washington with him and watching him work, but that was in the heavy bag. But, I still remember feeling like he was going to explode the aqua bag. So I don't know, man. The thing is that they some stunners, man. They invited me down, then all of a sudden they renege. You ain't even you can't even find them. It was hard for them to get in touch with them. I remember, I think you came out there, right, with us on one of those trips, and we were supposed to see them, and then we can't even get in touch with them.
Well, wasn't the Rigo trip? Weren't we supposed to see Luis Ortiz then?
No. One of the Thurman trips.
New
rule. Never believe a manager. If you're not there, you're not there. But anything you want to add? I mean, I'm happy, but I hope Team Wilder, PBC, and all Wilder fans don't take this the wrong way, but having this one scheduled, canceled, and rescheduled took a little bit out of it. And I don't think they're going to spend the money on a second press conference since they had one last time and, things didn't end up well. I think they're just going to wait this one out and see, does it actually happen, and not spend any more marketing dollars. And that is sad. But speaking of marketing, I have been following the E-Entertainment, WAG's Atlanta reality show that Wilder is on, and they are giving them a lot of airtime. This last episode, he was at an all-white affair. It's pretty cool. I mean, he's getting some shine, and what was good was, at least in that party, he was a celebrity amongst those people. Everyone was lining up to take pictures of him. So we'll see. Does this newfound reality show add to ticket sales? maybe views, because you consistently say here that Wilder gets good views. I never really know how to find the Nielsen's ratings, to be honest with you. But I always hear you say that he gets good views along with Broner. Interesting to see if we get a spike.
For, I think it was Thurman against, I think it was Robert Guerrero, and Broner was on that card, I want to say. That fight did around 3 million viewers average on NBC. When Deontay Wilder fought Duhaupas on ESPN with really no supporting cast there, he got 2.2 million viewers on NBC, which I thought was a great number. And he was the last person to do 1 million viewers on Showtime. So, he does do consistently great views.
Well, hopefully, again, we see a spike due to the reality show, newfound fame, maybe some of the football players that he's hanging with now, maybe some of their fans rub off. But I will say that some of the football players on this show seem irrelevant. I obviously don't know any of the names of these guys, but I don't watch any football. But they all seem to be retired or free agents. So I don't know if this is really going to have that effect that you and I spoke of when we debated this as a topic.
It won't, but this may be a launching pad to another platform that will be that.
That is true, because I remember when, he gave me this news. He also said that he and his wife had been offered their own. So who knows if they're going to get the whole husband and wife kind of marry them on TV, whatever whatever. Maybe the spinoff is what is going to work out for him. Speaking of spinning off, Jeff Horn, is he going to be able to kind of capitalize here on this Pacquiao mistake and turn this into something?
Arguable mistake. Whoa.
You're right. Arguable. Can he show us that Pacquiao wasn't done? It was really him. It's going to be interesting, because does Horn get another decision like that versus an A side, right? Like in this particular one, you have him winning, but not everyone does, right? Is he going to get that favorable decision again versus a Crawford now in Vegas now? You know what I mean?
I don't think this fight goes to decision, to be perfectly honest. I don't think this fight, the style matchup, if Jeff Horn is really that good, then I think he's really going to give Crawford some issues. If Crawford is that good, then I think he's going to just piece up Jeff Horn.
Yeah, but what about the whole Keith Thurman thing? And you can check out the full interview on patreon.com/Thaboxingvoice. It's a 3-hour interview with Keith Thurman where he actually discussed Crawford and his inability to do what he did at 140, which was dominate in this division due to the fact that he, like Mayweather and De La Hoya and others, started at a lower division and is moving up to welterweight. And unlike Keith, Thurman, Earl, Spence, and Sean Showtime Porter, these are welterweights that started as welterweights that can finish their careers at 160. I spoke to Earl Spence, and he sees his career finishing at 160. So
I think Crawford may not be able to dominate the top of the welterweight division like he did 140, the Thurmans, the Spences, the Porters, etc. But we don't think Jeff Horn is that level yet. Even if you think Jeff Horn beat Pacquiao, you're probably thinking, Pacquiao was a little bit faded. Jeff Horn was just a big, young welterweight at the right time against the right legend, Joe Smith Jr., Bernard Hopkins style in a way. That's what it really was. Not that Jeff Horn is really the greatest thing ever since sliced bread. Like, you don't think that. And I don't think that either. And I think Jeff Horn beat Pacquiao. I think Crawford could easily dominate Jeff Horn like he did Ndongo or Felix Diaz even. And he still have close competitive fights with Thurman, Spence, and Porter, etc. And that doesn't mean anything. That wouldn't be a critique on his legacy, I would say.
I'm interested in this fight now that it's actually going to happen, right? You got to kind of.
What do you think about it being in Vegas? What's your final verdict on that?
I mean, I don't like Vegas. I mean, now I like Vegas a little bit. It's never like the weed still didn't make it like, oh yeah, it's in Vegas. Nah, it's just like, fuck, it's in Vegas. At least I could get some bomb ass bud. You know what I'm saying? But it's in Vegas, bro. It's whack out there. What are you gonna do out there if you're not a gambler? It's I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, look, for the fighter, I'm happy for the fighter, for Crawford, because I know they look at Vegas as I have arrived. All big-time fighters fight in Vegas. I have arrived. So I'm happy for Crawford and Jeff Horn to have checked that box in their boxing career. And I hope they're happy from that. But me, I would rather this fight be in Omaha, Nebraska, or in Jeff Horn's backyard, where it is best received, man. Where it's best received, where the most people can see it. I mean, that's why I adore Anthony Joshua. And I hope someone clips that and then uses it against me when Wilder Joshua goes against each other. But the fact that he could bring so many people together, bro. When Canelo did that in Texas, it made me happy. It makes me happy that a fighter can have that many people under one quote unquote roof, because the dome or the Texas, I don't know. I don't even know if Texas, I don't know. Is it retractable or does it actually have no roof?
Retractable.
All right, well, there you go. Whatever. I just prefer it to be that way. I remember I interviewed Deontay Wilder one time in Alabama, in Birmingham, though, at the press conference, I believe, for the Areola fight. And, he spoke of one day filling 110,000 people somewhere in Atlanta or in Alabama. There's a stadium. I don't know. Kill me. Don't do it, really, but just saying.
Sue me would be the better term.
Excuse me?
Sue me, I think, is the more like classic.
So I hope he can do that one day. I don't know how. I mean, he would obviously have to knock out Anthony Joshua in one round, and I don't even know if that does it. 110,000 people is a lot of friggin' people.
No, selling that out, no. Maybe like 60,000, maybe. Like not filling it all out. That's potentially possible. But even then, I don't see that.
Why not go the Canelo route and do $10 tickets? I mean, Canelo was doing $10 tickets when he sold 40.
Yeah, but even then, that's only 40. Like when you talk about 110,000 seat stadium and selling that motherfucker out.
Yeah, but you're talking about
that's almost 2 times.
No, I hear you. But you're also talking about Texas, which is a very big state, kind of off in the center, whereas Atlanta has the help of other states.
Get out of here. Some of the biggest cities in the country are in Texas: Houston, Dallas, Austin, San Antonio. Plus, you have the huge Hispanic market in Texas, which Canelo tapped into.
Well,
boom, gunshots.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think
it's hard to sell those types of
all those different, like the Carolinas there, having Atlanta, having Alabama, maybe even some of Louisiana, right? Am I wrong?
For what?
I don't know. In the area that he can pull. But whatever, we're wishing here. So we were talking about Crawford Horn, and the reason we got into stadiums was obviously Crawford and them ending up in Vegas. Again, I'm happy for the fighters. What about you, though? You asked me the question. How do you feel about it being in Vegas?
I think the fighters are probably getting paid the most because it's in Vegas. And I'm usually always for the fighters getting paid the most because the fighters are the ones that put their lives on the line. For the fans, like you said, Nebraska probably would have made more sense even. But Australia made the most sense to me. Logistically, I know it's probably maybe a hassle for Team Crawford, which is arguably the A side. Obviously, they're the A side because they got Jeff Horn to the U.S. for this fight. They are the A side. But even then, they could have sold 30,000 seat stadium probably over there. They could have done some good ticket sales over there. I just would have liked to seen it there. I love outdoor stadium fights, to be honest. I love that atmosphere, that tone for an event.
I think that whoever would have made the most money off of tickets in their hometown should have won the decision to host the fight.
That's logical. I'm okay with that.
You know, if Crawford and his team could have put together the fact that they would have been in whatever CenturyLink in Omaha or whatever it's called, and, you know, they could pull a certain amount of dollars that was bigger than whatever they were going to offer in Brisbane, that's it. Winner take all, bro. And they just move on. Speaking of moving on, Dillian White. I mean, I feel like I need to pull up this guy's resume to see, did Lucas Brown just become Dillian White's biggest opponent till date?
No.
No? Who would you say is better than Lucas? I feel like you've been dismissing Lucas since the rumors of an alleged fight with Lucas Brown and Dillian White. Do you not rank him?
I don't think he's at the level of a Dillian White, to be completely honest. When you talk about who is Dillian White fought, even though he's lost to Anthony Joshua, he at least fought the best heavyweight in the world right now. Also, Derek Chisora is a much more proven, much more established heavyweight than Lucas Brown.
Whoa, bro. But and, you know, not huge debate here, but Derek Chisora is obviously a guy on the decline. Older.
No, that's 100% true.
Battle tested, but also maybe shop worn.
No, I'm not disputing that.
And Dillian White, let's not forget, they call it fight of the year, but that's another word for struggle.
True. But I think Lucas Brown would have had the same fight, if not worse fight, with Derek Chisora. Just being honest. I think Dillian White has probably a better natural boxing ability than Lucas Brown. His ability to put combinations together is a little bit, I think, smoother, a little more fluid than Lucas Brown. I also think that the technique in terms of like sharpness is almost similar for both gentlemen. I don't think we're looking at a vastly different fighter in either guy. I think this is a competitive fight. I think Dillian White is still probably the deserving favorite of this fight. He's fought the better opposition.
He's young by a lot.
I think the momentum is also on his side. Remember, Lucas Brown has had some issues with PD testing, obviously, and that sort of had stagnated his career for a period of time where he was not fighting. He was dealing with, you know, the VADA and the WBA, I believe, at that point. And their drug testing protocols. So
he's also only fought one no-name in all of 2017, which was way back in June, I believe.
And I'm just not high on Lucas Brown like some people are. Definitely a top, 15 heavyweight, somewhere in there. But I think like a Hiri Fury is much better than him.
Okay. Well, I like the fight. I did not know that he had such a long layoff, and it's been consistent. He only had one fight in 2015, one in 16, one in 17. And the one in 16 was the one that impressed me, So we'll see. We'll see. Does the inactivity for this man cause longevity?
Shout out to the super chat. Andre Diakonu with the $5 super chat. If you don't know what that is, you have to be on your desktop or laptop. I believe maybe even your tablet's okay as well. A little money sign next to the YouTube live chat. Hit that. You can live donate to the show. His questions are, what are the chances of TBV getting a Joshua training camp invite in London? Would you consider making the trip? Safe travel tomorrow. # Border Wars. Thank you, Andre.
If Joshua invited us, I would totally make the trip. Thank you, as always, Andre. Always a pound-for-pound supporter. And those super chats are definitely appreciated, especially since the reviving of this wonderful studio equipment. Matt, so, all right. White, Dillian, and Brown Lucas is happening when exactly?
I loved how you put the last names first, like it was some sort of court document.
Yes.
When was the fight? I think it's I know it's in March, I want to say.
It's all first quarter. It's such a great year.
I can get the date very fast. Hold on 1 second.
I mean, think about it. We have to talk about Quigg and Valdez now is also official.
March 24th, by the way.
March 24th. Look at that. March 24th. It is going to be March 3rd, March 24th. Oh, my. Oh, my. My girl got lucky. She's trying to go out for her birthday, which is like the 23rd or 24th of February. So she's lucky no fights happening that week. When is Valdez Quigg?
I have no idea. I know it's in the first quarter. I don't know the date exactly. I can look that up.
That's official. And let me see. Sean Zattel hit me up and said, yo, the rematch is official. I guess he's talking about Canelo.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Everything is official, man. This quarter has so much. I mean, Matchroom has a lot, too, coming up.
Well, they're the dominant force in the dominant market in the sport right now. That's not shocking that they have a lot right now. And it's always smart to load up the first quarter of the year because then your overall year, like returns and gross revenue for your shareholders and everything like that, it looks nice already. It's padded, so to speak.
You know, I always thought that the first quarter was I thought March was like basketball.
It is.
I know, but they seem to keep competing nowadays. I remember it was a time where we would discuss the fact that they didn't go up against March Madness and things like that, or fights weren't scheduled on those months because of March Madness and college basketball, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, I know March Madness, I think, starts in the second week of March. So like the March 3rd card for the Wilder Ortiz card is not affected by that. And even then, let's be honest, no matter what time of the year you're dealing with other mainstream sports. Like, I'm sorry, like even this summer you're dealing with baseball. So like you're dealing with something at every time of the year. If you have a great product, you put it on the date that you can put it on for the most money and you let it ride. And you hope that because the product and the content's so good that the numbers will be delivered.
Yes, sir. So what else? We have so much.
Amir Khan, Eddie Hearn deal.
Amir Khan has signed
3-fight deal
to Eddie Hearn.
Thoughts, Nestor?
I think it's good for Khan. You know what I mean? He needs something like that. I could see Eddie Hearn, you know, doing the Anthony Corolla route, you know, get him a couple of good fights and then give him a big fight. Something not too dangerous the way Corolla got a Lainez. Lainez isn't Mikey. He isn't Lomachenko, right? So he's not going to cut through a Corolla. So I think that's what's going to happen. You have to wonder, is Kell Brook the, I guess, end plan? But now with them being in two different weights, but at least we have the history of Khan already attempting to fight at a higher weight. So maybe for the right amount of money, the Kell Brook fight happens. Not that I want it, but just because it has that history, and I guess there are going to be some that care about it or for it.
It doesn't.
I like the deal for Khan. I think it's the right move. You know, it kind of gets him away from that PBC circle, even though he'll fight the lower tier PBC fighters. You know, I'm hearing names like Herrera, Sammy Vasquez, Miguel Burchek. Yeah. Not Burchek, Vasquez, the puppet, you know, which was knocked out by Josh Taylor. Cannot believe that. But yeah, so he will get a PBC fighter and something like it, but just not on that level so that he can look good. And then, you know, he needs it. He needs it. He does. They've done it for Paulie. When they opened up the Barclays Center, they gave Paulie Pablo Cesar Cano and a couple of other, you know, softies. You know, shout out to Thomas Lamana. I don't think I've ever. You know, I have nothing nice to say. Don't say it at all. But shout out to Thomas Lamana and Tito Bracero. They're going to be headlining in Atlantic City, and they're kind of reviving boxing in Atlantic City. So I hope that he's able to do it. You know, Lamana is a kid, Matt, that I'm sure you don't know much of. He did lose one time to Antoine Douglas. And this will be the biggest name, or the second at least biggest name on his career. He has some sort of WBC welterweight Feder Continental belt. And this fight will also be for another WBC belt because I stalked Bracero's social media and he's excited about that. Now, Lamana's self-made. He's a Minville, New Jersey. I don't even know where that is, and I am from New Jersey. But he is a draw in Atlantic City, which is not alive. Somehow he still sells tickets in Atlantic City. Not that he's selling 4,000, but I guess he's pulling in a good, 1,000, 2,000 around there. I want to say 2,500. I've been to a few of the shows. Point is, long story short, he's been kind of doing the Saddam Ali route before he signed a Golden Boy, self-promoting. Just him, his mom, his pops, and their little promotional company. He's been signing fighters on that, kind of club level. And they've been going strong. So much now that they've combined forces with Russell Peltz and even Michelle Rosado, Raging Babe, who's also been putting together fights out in the Carolinas, the Northern Carolina area. And they're going to try and revive boxing in Atlantic City. And I'll be honest, again, this is what I'm saying. We all evolve, and border wars, while for some it's helped with battle their weight loss journeys and get them in a healthier place in life. For me, it's helped me to be a more open-minded person when speaking about the sport. And again, the reason that I'm even bringing this up is because that I now care about this level, because guys like Alvin, Iron Maj, that I'm in the gym with, that you can clearly see obvious talent from being in the gym with, I wouldn't normally speak of because he's on a card in AC that isn't getting any television, or any media publicity. I feel differently now being in these gyms firsthand, because now not only do I go to Jersey Boys, but if Jersey Boys isn't open, man, I'm calling every fucking coach I know and getting a gym open. We are making it happen around these parts. So I'm just more deeply rooted. So shout out to the other Matt. I know that was always his dream, to have me be a little more closer with the amateurs. And obviously that's what I'm doing now. I mean, look at Joel and Hakeem Nurse. All those guys are amateurs turning pro. And guys like Alvin, I wouldn't normally even waste the time, but it's worth the time, and you learn on that level.
If you're a boxing fan that listens to the show, you've never really been in a boxing gym before, you've never been to a regional amateur event or a regional pro event, go out and do that. Go to a local boxing gym and just hit the bag for a bit, watch some of the young amateurs spar and do some work. Go to a local amateur event. There is so much unearthed talent out there that will never see the light of day, that will never get on TV, that due to life circumstances, family, money, the nature of the sport, these amazing, talented young boxers that you see in the local scene, they're never going to get their shine. So go and see them, because there's something to see there. There's some great stories there. There's some great action there. Going to a local gym on sparring day is exciting as hell. It's tense. It's like going to a real event, and you can hear every sound. You can hear all the coaching. You're right there. I definitely implore everyone out there that's listening to the show that's not done those things to go out and do it. You would become a better boxing fan as a result.
Yeah, man. I shout out to Andre. He says he's going to Elizabeth Boxing Gym. I wonder if that's the same gym I was just at yesterday, because I went to the Elizabeth Gym. Yeah, and it's just look, you just become rooted and invested, but you also, like Matt said, you get those surprises, and it's like, wow, look at what this kid's doing. Like, I can't wait to see what Hakeem Nurse is able to do. I've seen him spar Sergey Derevchenko, pro.
Very quickly, for people that are asking in the chat, like, why don't we give these guys voices? We do. If you look on the YouTube channel, there's tons of videos about prospects and amateurs and interviews that we've done
every day.
So there is content out there that we've provided. You just may not have seen it because it doesn't have a name that has Garcia, that has Lomachenko, that has Golovkin, Canelo, Joshua, Wilder, Thurman. You know, it's these aren't it. That's why you haven't seen it. It's because it's names that you guys don't know.
Exactly, because Joel Flores. I mean, look at all the Northern California amateurs that Alex Lemon covers. Then I cover all the East tri-state amateurs over here that I can, whichever ones that I do. But yeah, man, not to stay long on it. Shout out to Lamana. He's got a nice fight with Bracero. I want to see could he win, because he lost to Antoine Douglas at 60, remember, or at 54. So he's fighting Bracero at 47. And let's not forget to mention, he changed everything. And that's important because he's on a win streak and he has a little regional title. And listen, again, I would have clowned that title. But now putting in the work, it's like, yo, imagine if I would have ever been able to at least get a fucking regional title. I would feel super proud. And he's now being trained by Chino. I don't know what's Chino's real name, but Jason Sosa's trainer, Tevin Farmer's trainer, and somebody else. He's just reviving careers, Chino is. So shout out to Lamana. Shout out to Lamana, changing the camp.
And definitely when you think about if you're just a fan that listens to this show and you start naming boxers off the top of your head that are active right now, that is the 0.01% of active boxers in the world right now. Do a little bit of digging, find the other 10, 20, 30% out there, and you will find out so much more about the sport than you thought you knew.
And actually, we do have some of the tournaments. Remember, we filmed Elias's tournament. I filmed Doomsday's tournament. It just depends on the fighter, you know. They have to let me. I even filmed Sebs. Remember Jersey Sebs? I cover amateurs, bro, but I gotta not know you, but we have to be introduced, and then I have to be invested because remember, the fighter in an amateur fighter is only as big as his family, really. Any other headlines that we need to touch? Anything the AP might have sent us that we're overlooking?
I don't remember anything off the top of my head, to be honest.
Off the top of your head. Bounce. Yo, I can't wait for tomorrow, bro. It's on. We get there. It's going going down. All right, so I think we got everything. I think it's about that time. We're right on schedule, so why not? You know the number to call in is 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 time. Don't forget hashtag TBV Podcast. We are live. We're going to head on out. Oh, I can't even head to the sponsors. You believe this shit?
That's so sad. I'm sorry. Do I have it? Isn't it on a Blog Talk?
No. Don't even do it. Shout out to El Camino. This show is supported by El Camino. And, man, I wonder if he's coming to L.A. I think he's going to come to L.A., bro.
I think you told me he was coming to L.A.
Coming to L.A. I should text him right now while I do. Let's go out to the callers. All right. So, yeah, I do have the bell. I need to find that. Where is it? Where's my 3-minute bell, Matt?
Go to Blog Talk. Go to the soundbites there as well.
All right, well, you do your thing, bro. You know, we're gonna go out to Amin.
Just like the king is what I mean. The king is what I mean. My man, get a cup and put some change inside your hand. Now hold up, let's make this official. Everybody that's agreeing.
Yo, fellas. Yo, let me start off by saying, I think Dillian White is going to sound crazy. I think Dillian White and Lucas Brown, I seen that fight. I think they gave me a glimmer of hope that they can stretch it out. I had mentioned a few shows ago, and I keep saying I want them to stretch out some of this heavyweight division. I don't want it to all fizzle out too fast, man. Granted, all of these guys are not top-tier fighters when you think of, Wilder and Joshua, but you got some pretty interesting fights that you can make and scramble it around amongst the heavyweights, you know what I'm saying, and just kind of stretch it out, because if it fizzle out too fast, then we ain't going to have nothing left. So I like that fight, man. I'm really excited to see that one. Ortiz and Wilder is going to be March 3rd, man. That sounds like a great weekend for a TBV appreciation night, man. I don't know. Y'all need to look into that, fellas. Triple G and Canelo, I would like that in Dallas, actually. You know, I think that plays more to, they better watch some judges out there in Texas, but that plays more to Canelo's marketing, obviously. But, yeah, I think that's a nice little spot for it. They did fucking Clotty Pacquiao there. That was a fucking ridiculous-ass fight, and that shit drew hella's numbers. I think that shit had, I don't know, 50,000 attendees in a 100-seat stadium. I don't know. Somebody look at that. Pretty much it, man. Just listen to the show. Keep doing your thing. First one here, last one to leave. As always, the king is out. That's my call.
Let's go to the Ringer. Stainless in Nashville. Stainless, I'm pretty sure we did not have your intro because of Nestor's situation. So going to Nashville.
Why would you say that though? Like you don't know, but you don't even know though.
Do you have it?
But do you know?
I don't know, but you were not in the chair, so I had to,
Why would you go to a ringer? Why would you go to a ringer if I'm not in the chair?
Yo, homie, do you have it or not?
I have it.
Are you just done? Are you just done?
Do you have it?
Straight to the point for those with attention deficit. I'm so repetitive, so I gotta repeat. Stainless from the streets to the deep. I'm coming with that heat. All you need to know about me, I'm coming with that heat.
Yo, TBV, what's up? Matt? What up? Yeah, Ness, you was right to chastise Matt, you know what I'm saying? I ain't a ringer, no way. I'm a boomerang, you know what I'm saying? I ain't even gonna, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna let that stop me. What a exciting developments y'all just brought up, man. This Wilder Ortiz, it lost some of its momentum with the whole PED scandal, but either way, I'm still happy to hear about this fight. I don't think it would discredit Wilder or take anything away from him if he wins. I don't think Ortiz can beat him personally, but if he does, I would still give him his respect in this fight too. The Canelo Triple G rematch, man, I'm excited to hear about that. I know everybody's saying Triple G on his decline, but I don't know. It's something to me that I feel like he might be able to pull off that win. The Jeff Horn Crawford announcement, I'm happy to hear about that, man. I don't really care if it's in Omaha, Australia, Vegas, or somebody's backyard. I just need to see that fight. And the Joshua Parker thing, man, I'm happy to hear that they finally announced it, because, as you said, they have been dragging that out. But that's about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just happy to hear that it's announced so we can get that fight over with, so we can keep with the momentum of that Joshua Wilder fight. That's pretty much all I got, though, for this round. I'm going to get back to listening, because I was actually in the middle of rolling my blunt when that came through, and I'll be ready for that boomerang as soon as I get a couple hits on that mud. So, Matt, pull some calls for me, and I'll talk to y'all on TBV for life. Peace.
Remember, Stainless, press 1 again to get out of the queue, and whenever you want to get back in, press 1 again. You just hop back in, and we'll go right to you. Boomerang status. If you don't know what boomerang status is, go to patreon.com/theboxingvoice, and you can find out all about that.
So, we got Suleiman Scala.
How you doing today? Yes, I don't know. Everybody's saying that Lamar Peterson has no chance of winning at all. And to me, I don't know. I'll be looking at the fight with Spence. I think if he works a controlled body attack like he did against David Avanesian, he could slow him down, and maybe he could start landing some shots. And if he uses his legs like he did against Danny Garcia, he has a chance. You have to think positive. You know what I'm saying? Think positive, and and see if he could pull it through. Because what happened with Brook was that Brook's orbital bones got broken in his eye. So he did pretty good. I mean, the kid could be beaten. And then what if he beats Spence? What is he going to do next? Who's going to fight him next? Is he going to go for Keith Thurman next? I mean, if he beats Spence, that's going to be a huge upset. Do you think that he could create a momentum and fight Keith Thurman next? That's my question to you, and you have a great evening.
Well, Suleiman, if he does beat Spence, which is a long shot, yeah, he will obviously create some momentum and fight maybe a Thurman or maybe a Crawford Horn winner. But again, your example of as to how Lamont Peterson can beat Spence was a David Avanesian fight. David Avanesian is not Earl Spence. So it's hard to compare that.
He isn't, but you know what I mean? I get Suleiman's logic.
No, the logic is sound in terms of like if he does that, he will find success. Absolutely agree with that, Suleiman. My point is that I don't think he can do it because he's never done it to a guy of Spence's talent and skill.
No, I hear you. I'm just saying that I get his logic is fight that fight. The same way that I kind of want to see Peterson fight the Hope fight, Hope, Amir Khan fight, something like that. Like, you know what I mean? Kind of bringing the fight to Earl, being in the wheelhouse with Earl, even though we question his ability to take those shots due to Earl being the bigger man. But I think that that's where he would find most success, even though when I spoke to what's his name?
I don't know.
Derek James, he says his advice would be to box, not to stay on the inside. So
I can understand why. As a coach, you should always teach your, fighter not to stay in.
He's saying specifically versus Earl because he's saying that, you can ask plenty of people, they compare his power to heavyweights. I'm just excited to see Earl versus these types of guys, to see is everything that Derek James saying true, or does he fall in line with the rest of the trainers like the Porters and the Garcias that big up their counterpart?
I don't think Lamont Peterson's the guy to make Derek James be wrong or make Earl Spence, show flaws. I think Kell Brook was a significantly better boxer than a Lamont Peterson. And Kell Brook was only successful in the first, 4 rounds? And then Earl Spence found the range, found the distance, found his shots, and was able to put on enough damage to make Kell Brook quit. Same thing will happen with Lamont Peterson.
Possibly. Let's head on out to the street. We're going to Ernest in Huntsville, Alabama. What it do?
What's up? Errol is going to dominate this weekend. Next subject. Can we just get off I love Deontay. He's fighting on my birthday against Luis Ortiz. He's going to dominate. But let's get off Deontay selling out Legion Field or the new Georgia Dome. He had 4 tries in Birmingham. He didn't sell out one time. His best bet, because I think I heard Eddie Hearn said that they're going to have a fight in America in the summer. Speaking of AJ, if he wins. And then they're going to go after Deontay. So Deontay's going to have a lot of time. And Deontay's next fight should probably be in Atlanta at Phillips Arena. But he's not going to sell out. He's not going to get 100. He can't get 12,000 in Birmingham. Come on. Let's be real. But what I do want to happen, I want these fights to start happening on regular TV like CBS, NBC, ABC, Fox. I think the Deontay fight, they're deciding between Showtime and CBS, which is the same company. So you want boxers to get more exposure. start putting fights on regular TV because a lot of people are cutting the cord like me. So Showtime is not available. HBO is not available to us. Start putting fights on regular TV probably before football season down here in the South. That's all I got, guys.
All right, Ernest. Well, thank you for calling in. Going out to Sunny in the UK.
Yo. Hey, man, I think the GGG and Canelo, a lot of people giving Canelo a better chance of beating Gennady Golovkin. He was the boogeyman. But after the Jacobs fight, I feel like GGG, if Canelo does beat him, he'll put his status way up there with the true boxing fans. He'd be the first one to dethrone him. And I think it's his time. I think GGG is declining due to his age. I'm not sure how old he is. How old is he? About 34? 35?
Don't know the exact age.
I think he's about 35. I'm not sure. But apart from, what's this, Wilder fighting Ortiz and Joshua fighting Parker, if there's going to be any weakness in any of their armors, these fighters do have the ability to show us if there's any weakness in Wilder, or we see what Joshua weakness is through the Klitschko fight. He can get hurt. And he is vulnerable sometimes. Oh, yeah, and hey, I know you like some banter, Gibbs. Am I right? You like banter in boxing, yeah?
Sure do.
I remember the other day I was saying something about Tyson Fury while I was drunk, but hey, there was a bit of substance behind why I said that. He is one of the best heavyweights I've seen. True boxing fans realize that Tyson Fury never got hurt in that fight, and he did some genius moves. And even the TBE, the Mayweathers of today, what we follow, true hardcore boxing fans, and tell me if you agree. Would you rather have been Tyson Fury fighting that fight, or would you rather take the licks what Anthony Joshua took? Because all said and done, Anthony Joshua took a lot of punches in that fight to win.
Yeah, we took a lot of money back to the bank. I would rather be AJ collecting that 20 mil in front of 90,000 people, having the fight of the year, best heavyweight fight in decades. I'd rather be AJ still.
Yeah, but is that you, Matt? But I don't think if Mayweather was sitting in his chair today, he will be more applauding Tyson Fury than Joshua for taking 20 million in that bank and taking those punches. Those punches, you know, and I know. I heard your boxing, or I've been watching your border wars. I don't know. I think it's like white collar boxing in England. Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Basically.
Is that what this border war is?
Yes, basically.
Yeah, so, you know, you practice what you preach. You wouldn't want to take those punches, bro. And at the end of the day, that's why true boxing fans realize whatever Tyson Fury did, cut it.
Sonny, swinging after the bell. Thank you for calling in.
I want to address a narrative that Sonny sort of added to, and you sort of I've said, Ness, on today and like numerous times, I would say, about close fights, competitive fights, fight of the years. That means you did bad, right? That's always the narrative that I feel like you've said, Ness, and other people have said. You know, when we look back at some of the greatest fights ever, we never look down on those guys for having great fights when it's the two greatest fighters fighting at the time. I've never understood that. That currently we will shit on fighters having amazing, spectacular back and forth fights because it shows that they were hit a lot. But we look back at, you know, Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran won, and we clap and we marvel at how amazing it is. We look at Ali Frazier and that trilogy and look at, oh, how amazing those fights were, even though they were wars. You know, so I think even though currently, you know, fans like to shit on fighters for somehow taking punishment, you know, I think most of the time we applaud that because that is putting on an entertainment, putting your life on the line for us. There's a reason why Arturo Gatti was universally loved and he was not an elite boxer. So I think even though AJ took a lot of shots in that fight, he came away with the most money. He came away the bigger star. He came away universally loved. Why? Because he did take those shots. We can go to Anthony in Cincy, which I think he's in LA right now. I want to say.
Really?
Yes. I don't know where he's staying at.
Anthony, what up?
He's roaming the streets of LA.
What's up?
You in LA?
Queen City Radio.
You in LA looking for them Canadians?
Oh, yeah. I just touched down. I ain't even got my rental car yet. I just touched down. I'm excited. 18 shaping up, man. 18 is shaping up. I'm excited. I think the one I'm most excited about is Wilder Ortiz. I think I'm gonna go to that. Somebody said something about appreciation night. Ooh, I'm gonna go. But where did they say Crawford and I missed part of the show. I was still on the plane. Where did they say the Crawford fight, or was it just kind of up in the air?
T-Mobile Arena in Vegas.
That's official?
Jeff Horn has agreed to it. It's not firmly official, but Jeff Horn has agreed to that.
I kind of feel like they should do that somewhere else. But yeah, there's some good fights, man. I'm definitely going to the Wilder Ortiz. I'm gonna see about some. I don't know about no Canelo Triple G. I ain't wasting no more money on that, but yeah, it's shaping up. But yeah, I'm about to run these streets of LA. I'll let y'all get back to it.
You ain't about that life and got a lot of me, nigga.
Yo, you about to run them streets, huh?
I just muted him, unfortunately.
It's all good. You know you love that soundbite.
That was good.
I know. So yo, that's what happens when you need to, clean house. You end up organizing things. Little by little, it's gonna get right. It's gonna be like, I'm gonna be shooting. That's what I don't have. All my guns got missing, man. They did me like they did T.I.
Sad.
I need my rim shot too, right there. You're supposed to hit me with the rim shot. Like they did me like they did T.I. Boom. You know what I mean? You messed up. Drop the ball. 951. Let me go to I wonder if 951 is that compa and you dropping the ball?
No.
951. What up? First time caller?
Hello?
First time caller?
That's right. 021.
Oh, let's go to first time caller intro. Let the world know your name and where you're calling from.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut, he is
021.
021, what's going on, brother?
It's time. Hey, I appreciate y'all taking the call. Long time listener, as you said, first time caller. I'm real excited this year. 2018 with all these fights coming up. Really, you look at it and they're building up, and a lot of fans, we want it now, but if you look at these fights coming up, they're getting built up. And what I mean is Wilder versus Ortiz. Okay, I'm going for Wilder, strictly for that power. AJ versus Parker, good fight. They're going to unify it. Some of the titles. I got AJ in that. AJ. So you see where this is going. So after that, we could see the build up to Wilder, AJ. Same thing with Canelo, Triple G. They get a little build up as it goes. Now, that one's a little bit different because at this point, it's getting to the point where maybe we want to see Triple G versus Billy Joe instead of Canelo, because, could that Triple G Canelo fight be any different? I don't think so, because Triple G is always going to have that power. And I think that power affects Canelo more than Canelo's power affects Triple G. I think we saw all we had to see on that first one. However, it's a moneymaker, so I'm sure we'll see it. But, the good thing about this year is that a lot of us, we're trying to unify those titles and get one champion. Boxing's just, been out of order for so long as far as we don't know who's the quote-unquote real champion. But now with all these belts finally coming along and working together, I feel like it's going to be a good year with all the divisions coming up. So that's really where I'm at as far as with boxing. I'm really excited with it. Errol Spence is going to be a top superstar. We already know. The X factor on Spence is he's a lefty, and that's always that X factor that gets a lot of fighters mixed up, as we've seen in the past. So I see him as the future for sure, but it's not going to be easy because you got a lot of tough fighters in that division. So I appreciate y'all taking this call and listening up. Y'all still there?
Yes.
Of course we are, brother. Letting you have the floor. Thank you for calling in. And I just want to make sure we had that name right. Ocho One or Ocho Uno?
Ocho. So it depends, man. If you speak in Spanglish, then you're going to go with that, Ocho One, Ocho Uno. Same difference.
All right, brother. Matt, spell that Uno, doggy. Don't be dropping the ball on my man's name. All right?
Come on.
No, you're full of excuses. Sometimes I think I'm talking to Doomsday.
Shout out to all my Spanglish people out there that know like a few things about Spanish, and that's it. Shout out to my people.
Oh, sometimes I feel like I'm talking to Doomsday when I talk to you.
I do my best, but my best wasn't good enough.
Always got an excuse.
What do you mean by that? Hold on, I'm offended.
That you always got an excuse, and then you hit me with that. Oh, I'm doing my best. It's like, no, your best isn't good enough, dog. Stop.
Oh, wow. Damn. That hurts my feelings.
Do way better than that. You know what I mean?
Yes! Yes!
That's right.
Yes!
Let's go
Yes!
out to
Yes!
Oh shit! It's over. All right, early night. Listen, I got a pack. You know what? I don't have a. Oh, here we go. We got a Skype caller ready to go. I don't have an outro beat, but I actually do. I got a new outro beat for today. We're gonna go to where my show intros. Doom, 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 doom. I got this one right here. It's my boy, but I ain't ready yet. I'm seeing if the Skype call is gonna be ready. No? Just told me to add him, but not answering. So, Matt, I guess we're on final thoughts here.
Final thoughts. 2018 shaping up to be a great year so far. The schedule looks amazing.
We're being attacked, believe me.
Oh, Scorsese's calling in. You want him?
Scorsese's call, of course.
You want Scorsese for real?
He's OG. Even though he's crazy, he's OG.
OG. Scorsese. Where he's at?
I don't know. You were the one that said he's calling.
No, it didn't work. You know, he's got the cheap connection.
That's not surprising.
There he goes again. Scorsese, how are you?
I am OG, man. I'm the real deal, man. I tell it like it is, man. Hey,
You smell like old cheese.
Yeah. You can say that, I guess. I want either Wilder or Joshua to lose, man. Just one of them need to go because I don't want to do the wait, the build up, the he say she say. Nah, man, tired of that shit. I went through 5 years of that, man. 4.5, 5 or something.
Haters, snakes, haters.
And and then so many people want to be so hype about Parker or Ortiz. They just let this shit fly. Let it flow the way it's supposed to. Won't be so much money going around and people acting like it's theirs or something and not the fighters. And it'll just be easier for me. And then I get to see other fights and so it's good they got their fight made. I think the Canelo Triple G, I think that's gonna happen. Oscar could say what he want. That's promotional tactics. That's gonna happen, and I favor Canelo, man. I think he much better than Triple G, but
You fucking crazy, man. You just sound insane. Do you realize that?
He's fighting a guy. Damn, man. What's up the 3-minute sound bites, man? That damn sound bite got his own verse, man. I just think the Triple G, if Canelo gets his stamina right, he may never pan out as a fighter. He may not ever show the package that he's supposed to be. but he got to get his damn stamina right and start throwing. You know, he don't need to throw 5 and 6 punches. Sometimes 2 work, and you can find Triple G. You hit him with the first 2, don't exhaust 3, 4, and 5. Go ahead and chill out. You be ready to slip some more, get to the inside, work again. You don't have to go to the Rose versus Triple G. He's slow as Christmas coming again. So I just feel like, you know, Canelo should dominate. If Canelo's anything, he should dominate that fight just the way I said. He's a younger fighter. Hell, he's just as strong. He showed it. He should dominate the damn fight, man. I don't really got much to say about the heavyweight division. I'm burnt out on that, man. You was right, Ness, when you said that they missed the opportunity with Ortiz and Wilder the first time, and then it really wasn't the first time. They should have fought 2 years ago. They should have fought maybe 3 years ago. So I don't know the exact number, but they've been holding this off long enough, and now it's like, okay, finally, March. It's like, okay, 2 months. I'm willing to wait, but I'm burnt out on the topic, and one of them will get to prove themselves one way or another. But I think the 50-year-old coming out the winner. I favor the 50-year-old. That's my call.
Who's the 50-year-old?
You know that man 52, man. That boy, that man 52.
Who?
The dude, the guy you claim was about to bust the aqua bag. He's a 52-year-old.
This is stupid.
Oh, that kid,
See,
that man.
This is what I'm saying.
No,
this is what I said in the beginning of the show, man. I said, are they going to give him his credit? Are they going to give Luis Ortiz his credit? Are they going to give Deontay his credit? It just seems like these guys, no matter what, will not be getting any credit. But let me go out to Alexander Bully. I want to thank for calling in, and I want to thank Matt for having his sound bites so horribly pitched. They're just so loud.
That one was loud?
And now he's just grinning.
I didn't know that one was loud. I'm sorry.
Oh my God, was it bad?
On my levels, it said low. I'll be completely honest. On my fucking soundboard, it said low.
You got no levels.
I got no levels. Let's go with Captain AJ Protectors.
Alexander Bully, captain of the AJ Protectors. What's up?
Yo, what's going on, man? First off, yo, shout out for that prospect of the year call. I just heard the show back, man. Good looking on that. But yeah, just to speak on the Peterson and Spence fight, I seriously think everyone that's saying like Peterson needs to go forward and actually attack Spence, it's the wrong thing, man. When you look at like the way Spence breaks people down with that inside work, I think his inside work is probably the best at the moment, and it could be the best of this generation. Like I see Roberto Duran. When I see him like doing those the variety of body punches and inside work, it's like it draws parallels with the Roberto Duran. So I think he needs to jab and move. And Peterson's got a very clean jab, but whether he can sustain that for 12 rounds, who knows? And yeah, in terms of the Ortiz-Wilder fight, the way I see it is like my favorite fighter right now in terms of not for boxing, but just for motivation has always been Shannon Briggs. That let's go champ movement kept me going when times was hard. And I know a lot of boxing fans felt that is facts. That let's go champ was leveling people up. But when I heard he was on that stuff and he took a banned substance, for me, I said he can't now be rewarded with the money fight that he so desperately wants to cash out and leave. I just think whatever's on that list, if you take it knowingly and you get caught, it's the wrong. It de-incentivizes everyone else that's trying to do it healthy. If you then get the heavyweight fight. That's why I think the fight is wrong. Like, I ain't even gonna talk about how much of a bum Wilder is. There's no need. Like, my actual opinion is he should not. Ortiz should have not got this fight because it sends out the wrong message. But we're not on that. Like, on my genuine opinion, if you on that stuff, I don't care if they put orange juice on that list. If you take whatever's on that list, you shouldn't get a world title fight after one fight back. That's crazy. That's my opinion. I think we need to stamp this out of the game, and it's sending the wrong message. Because it's like if I'm on the come up and I'm thinking, damn, I need that big fight. Why don't I just juice up? I'm already like 48 years old. My career going low. Why don't I juice up and get the big fight? It's wrong. But that's my opinion.
Bully, thanks for calling in, my friend. Great call as always. Matt, yeah, it's that time. I thought I had a good outro.
Stainless has a ring back in because he's a boomerang. But before we go to Stainless, I want to add something on to what Alexander said about anti-doping. I agree that if the current paradigm of the sport right now is that we're going to increase anti-doping, we're going to punish we're going to punish dopers. Let's actually punish them. Let's not reward them with title shots afterwards. But I do think that anti-doping is a more nuanced discussion. Paul Damore from the University of Stirling in Scotland has done a ton of papers. I believe there's a YouTube video out on a lecture that he did about anti-doping and sort of the falsehoods of anti-doping and how it may not be.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Just for anyone that's a little more interested in it, go check out Paul Damore, I think is his name, University of Stirling in Scotland. A ton of interesting stuff on that discussion. Then we're going to Stainless again.
You bum!
Yo, Ness is having so much fun finding all of
I did want to chime in with what the bully was saying. I do agree. You know, I am tired of seeing the doping in this industry. I think there needs to be a harsher punishments and sentencing. Unfortunately, I do want to see this fight more. I'm sorry, I hate to sound like a glutton for the punishment. Maybe we all look into the S&F shit, but you know, we need these fights right now. I mean, of course, we need better standards. We can all agree on that later. That was the first thing. Also, I wanted to. I didn't know we was gonna touch on Spence Peterson, and I know we're gonna touch on it again next week. But for me, I think it's more about the press conference. I do think it's gonna be a great fight. I know we all expecting a great fight, but I don't think we're gonna get the output from Spence that we're expecting. You know, maybe it's just me, but he didn't look good up until like the 5th or 6th round in that Kell Brook fight. And even he hinted to the fact that it was such a long layoff. And I'm pretty sure it's got to be the longest layoff of his career. And to come up against a guy like Peterson, who once used to mentor him and inspired him enough to know enough about Brook, do you think that that's going to be an easy fight for Spence? Do you think that that's going to be an easy fight for Spence? Or, you know, do you think that, I mean, how do y'all really see that fight playing out? I mean, I know it's something that we're going to talk about more next week, but since I keep hearing it brought up, that's the question I got to ask, because Peterson knows Spence. You know, he knows, and Barry Hunter knows Spence too. So, you know, how do you think that fight's really going to play out, though? That's my question for y'all. As I always say, please make sure that you push the thumbs up and share this in every episode of the Boxing Voice podcast. If you're not on Patreon, get on it. Big up to those in the super chats, and thanks for the donations. TBV for life. Peace.
All right. And if you're going to be in the LA area, we're going to be out there. We're going to be doing some things. Hopefully you already been in touch, and, you know, you can get with us. Sure. Should be fun, Matt says. Matt.
Yes.
Long
I'm Barack Obama, and I support the Boxing Voice.
Yep. That happened.
How did you get that? Who made that?
You don't know shit about boxing.
I have people that know Barack. How about that?
Sure.
Oh, is this the outro? Let's see. Think I found it, fellas.
This show is sponsored.
No, it's not.
No, not that. Not the outro.
Not the outro.
I mean, close.
That isn't it.
Welcome to the.
Like, you have to find that outro song. That was the perfect outro song.
Oh, but look at what I got here. I needed this.
I don't know what's there.
What is that? That's called Dun Dun Dun, right? Yeah. All right, so I guess we're done. I mean, we shouldn't even do any overtime since we're gonna be over there. We could do it over there the right way.
Of course, and obviously we're gonna have a Border Wars press conference tomorrow, probably.
That's right. We're gonna have a lot of things.
I can bring the entire studio there to the weigh-in, and we can have a press conference at the same time.
There you go. Yo, I think Warren sent the message.
You can't win.
Was that for you?
Gay.
Step up your game.
Matthew, you cannot battle with me.
Why so serious?
Stop.
Yeah, I can't battle with you. Even with your, now like mostly deleted soundboard, you can probably still beat me.
That's right. That is right. Very right. Very. Actually, that's not right. It's.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, we're out. Find me on Instagram at JP. Why is JP like a late face?
Because I think he's too high, and then he forgets that he doesn't press 1.
Call him the late face. What up, JP?
Hey, I just want to know what y'all think we gonna see, boxing Lamont or brawling Lamont? Because he'll pull that on you. You never know what you see from him.
Well, that's what I want from him. I want Lamont from the Peterson Khan fight, the Kendall Holt fight. That's the Lamont that I need.
Okay, you want, but see, I'm thinking if we get boxing Lamont, the Lamont we seen in the first half of the Danny fight, that fight could go 12 rounds. But if we see brawling Lamont, which would make for a funner fight, I say Errol probably gets rid of him in like between 8 and 10. But that's all I got though, guys. Hey, where the weigh-in at? Joe's house?
Yes, the weigh-in is at Joe's house.
I guess there it is.
All right, for sure.
See you then, my friend.
Peace.
Oh, we got Porgy. I don't have Porgy's yet. I haven't found it.
That's sad.
No, let me see. Nope. No.
What?
That was you?
Of course it was me.
What is that about?
Yo, that's Eye of the Tiger.
I know. What is that about? Georgie, how are you, my friend?
Yo, what's happening, people?
Word is
There's some ass whipping gonna be taking place soon.
Word on the street is you're gonna be in LA?
I'll be there like on first row, just seeing how man get that work put on him. I got a Muscat by early stoppage.
Damn, Matt, no love for you.
Okay, that's fine. You want to put a bet on that, Georgie?
Bet.
Yo, what's up with
you? You're welch on that bet too.
You know where Doomy at? He off in the sauna somewhere trying to lose last bit of weight. Call him fat
he
boy
didn't
status.
Make weight, huh? Shit, come on, man. Come on, Doomy. Shout out to me, the Kryptonian.
The Kryptonian.
Listen, bro. Let me get on these Joshua Parker shit, brother. Anybody got Parker winning? Anybody calling for Parker?
Amongst us two, no.
Nobody? Crickets? That's another Lamont Peterson, huh? Jesus Christ. Well, pretty much that's my call, people. Everybody there, donate, support, enjoy Patreon. I'm outie.
Damn, he wanted us. It was either we picking Parker and he could debate or we not, and he moving on.
Do you think anyone's going to pick Parker? Like we may have a relationship with Wilder, but we don't think Josh was a bum like some of you UK fans do.
Very true. Very true. Well, unfortunately, I cannot find the outro, but I can tell you, Matt, and Wolf sent you this message.
Fuck that, this your destiny, niggas. You hear me? Go kick his motherfucker. Get that motherfucker.
You heard Pops in the back. You get that motherfucker. You could tell he was shaking when he said that shit, right? Like, you go get that motherfucker. You go get him.
Bit flying out of his mouth when he was.
Yo, you remember that fight? That was the Molina fight. That was a badass fight. People don't even remember that fight. Fucking short term.
In 10 years, that fight will completely be forgotten.
Well, I mean, it wasn't a badass fight either. I mean, there was a lot of little holding in there. You know, Molina never had a great style.
True.
So let me see if I found the right bite here. Let me see.
No, he did it. Trust me.
What do you mean I didn't?
I'm just, being negative.
Oh, like always. Damn, where'd I add it though? Wait a minute.
Because you suck.
Ooh. I thought I added it. I guess I did not. Oh, there it goes. I put it in the wrong place. That's a mistake. Let's take that out. That's how those mistakes happen.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
Found that. Don't forget to do that. Listen, we're out, man. We're not going to drag it along. I want to thank everybody that tuned in. Was a bunch of you guys, and we truly appreciate that. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. You can hit that in the future, present, past. Doesn't matter. Drop in the comments, maybe some suggestions. We're going to be all in LA. There will be a ton of us, dozens of us, literally. So we're going to attack some topics, man. 5 mic status. It's going to be a lot of us, man. So you guys should definitely drop some comments in the comment section. Let us know what you want to see the gang talk about as we're all there. So that it's not all Patreon only stuff. We want to keep you guys up to date as well. That being said, I'm your host, Nestor Gibbs. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at NestGTO. Peace.
I am Matt Phipps Hunter. You can find me at Mixed Combat News on Twitter, Matt Hunter TBV on Instagram, and my MMA podcast, Mixed Combat Radio on Patreon, SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes, etc. Peace.